Super Mario Galaxy! Hello everybody, this is Jones on J here, and today I am going to be starting a brand new and very exciting Let's Play series. Today, we will be playing the very wonderful and nostalgic game of Super Mario Galaxy. Oh my goodness guys, this game was such a huge part of mine and many other people's childhood, so I thought it'd be pretty fun to revisit and 100% complete it together. So, just as a couple of side notes, my plan for this Let's Play is to upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on my channel, so please be sure to go ahead and click subscribe and ring the notification bell so you do not miss the next episode and will be the first to know when I upload. So, alrighty guys, enough chit-chatting, let's just jump right into this. So, I'm sure a lot of people who grew up with this game are going to feel very nostalgic as we play. So as you can see, this is actually my file right here that I 100% completed as both Mario and Luigi. For this Let's Play, I'm just going to 100% complete it as Mario, obviously, because Luigi's just the same thing. And maybe off camera, I'll complete it as Luigi, because then once you complete with Mario and Luigi, you unlock a little like bonus level, which I'll probably show in the last episode. So yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and we'll create a new file. And yeah, we'll create another game file. Just gotta wait for the game to do its saving and all that. And alright, who do I want to do for my icon? Do I want to do I already did my me for my last one, so let's keep things classic. Let's do Mario. Yeah, I'll use that icon. Wait for the game to do all its saving and stuff. And poof, there is Mario. Alright, let's go ahead and play this brand new file. So I'm sure the nostalgia is, like, people who play this game are gonna, like, the nostalgia is just, like, they did a really great job making this game. The music and everything is just so nostalgic. You know what? Let's go ahead and read off the little story here. So, every 100 years, a comet appears in the skies above the Mushroom Kingdom. The comet was so large one year, it filled the skies and sent countless shooting stars raining down. The Toads brought the shooting stars to the castle, where they became a great power star. It would have been a very happy time for the citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom. That was the night of the Star Festival, held once every 100 years to celebrate the comet. And of course, just like every classic 3D Mario game, we get a nice little letter from Peach. So this says, "Dear Mario, I'll be waiting for you at the castle on the night of the Star Festival. There's something I'd like to give you. From Peach." And here goes Mario, kind of gliding his way into the Star Festival. Alrighty, so here we are. Man, I haven't played this game in quite a bit of time. It feels good to be back. So, and what's funny is you turn out, you actually can't leave the festival because you got the Toads right here. So, all the guests are here, time to party. And I'm not gonna really talk to too many of the characters unless if I absolutely have to, because I want to try and get as much. I want to try and show as much content as possible to keep you guys interested. So, are you collecting the star bits? So yeah, of course we can move our little Wii remote around and collect the little star bits like that, and then use the nunchuck to move around. Yep, this Toad says the castle's just down this path. You can't miss it. Well, no duh. There's the castle right over there. Alrighty, so let's keep going. So, la 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 la, nice little peaceful day here in the Mushroom Kingdom with all the star bits and stuff falling all over the place. But of course, once you get to here, yeah. Bowser and his fleet comes to ruin the day. I'll go ahead and I guess be quiet and let you guys watch the little video here. Although I will say one thing, there was like one area where I feel like Mario could have easily saved Peach, and I'll explain once it gets to that point. do have to say, this game, like, for the Wii, has pretty good graphics. Like, I definitely, they did a really good job with, like, the textures and stuff, I think, in this game. And then, okay, here we are back with, Mario. So, of course, in typical fashion, you can see all the toads trapped in ice and stuff like that, but let's just go ahead and quickly run over to the castle, because that's what you're supposed to do. And then there's Peach screaming, "Help me!" Let's follow the path, then. Can you actually get hit by those? Okay, it looks like the camera doesn't want to zoom in on me. Okay, I'll go this way then. And then once you get here, this is where things get interesting. So you get this giant flying, like, saucer-looking thing that just shoots lasers into the ground and then pulls the castle into space, because, like, that's totally realistic, but hey, this is a Mario game. So, yeah, there it goes. Surprised it waited for Mario to get to the castle until it did that, but okay. Although here's the one area that I don't understand, like, Peach is obviously right on the balcony, why couldn't she have, like, Mario was pretty close as well, why couldn't, like, she jump into, like, Mario's arms, Mario could catch her, and then they just make a break for it. But I mean, of course, it's a Mario game, can't expect things to be rational, but... Yeah. And there goes the castle. Up and away. And by the way, guys, actually one thing I'll mention real quick, this is not a very, like, climactic part, it's just the castle going up into space, but the other question is, how is Peach surviving? And how is Bowser's fleet surviving? Because they don't have any, I don't see them with oxygen masks or anything like that, but anyway, like I was saying, one thing I will mention real quick is, my plan for the series is I want to try and keep each episode around the 30-minute mark, because I feel like that is a perfect balance between showing a decent amount of content, getting a decent amount of watch time, and also while not making the video, like, extremely, like, too long kind of thing. So, yeah. And there goes Mario. Although here's what I don't understand. They knock Mario and it looks like he goes back into Earth, but then you will see that Mario's actually, well, I don't know if that's necessarily Earth or not, but you'll see Mario doesn't land back where the festival was. He lands on another planet, which you're about to see. So yes, there is Mario. And that white Luma that Peach was holding just is now ultimately going to become Mario's companion throughout the entire series, which you will see.
Yeah.
And of course, just like keeping the tradition, like ever since like Mario 64, you gotta start by chasing some bunnies. Yay! And yep, I know how to jump, I know how to long jump, I know how to... We can't use our spin powers yet because you have to get the... You have to, like, keep going a little bit longer until you can get your spin powers, but... Yeah. But yeah, this moment the game is literally like, hey, you remember Mario 64, right? Yeah, let's go catch some bunnies, because this is the sequel. Alright, so... Let's go ahead and catch the bunnies. And just like that, poof, they go into midair. So, if I remember correctly, I know one of the bunnies is in a pipe. I'm pretty sure. And yeah, as you get closer to the bunny's hiding spot, you can see that, yep, you'll hear like hopping sounds and stuff, and then, yep, here's one of the bunnies, so let's go ahead and catch it. Thankfully, the bunnies in this game are not as big of a pain to catch as they were in like Mario 64. In those games, they were like a huge pain, but at least in here, like, you just have to find them. Finding them is just the hardest part, and honestly, it's not super hard in this game. And then once you find them, they're pretty easy to catch up, so... And then, of course, they give you hints as to where the next bunnies are. So, of course, they said I should have hidden the crater. Well, here we go. We're going to go into the crater, and... Oh, never mind. I think that's the wrong one. Maybe there's another one. But... Although, if that was the crater, what the... I'm pretty sure that was the only crater, though, so... Oh, this is where we just, were. Oh, there's also one in the bushes, as we can see right here. So yeah, the bushes, the crater, and the pipe, that's where the bunnies hide, for those of you guys who do not know. Alright, come on, get back here, get back here. There we go. Got the second bunny. He's probably gonna say the same thing. Yep, the crater. Okay, well here's the crater right here. Where's the bunny? Why didn't it show up the last time? Oh, here's the crater that they're talking about. It's this one. Yeah, because this is the one that you can't actually fall into because a bubble will just take you out. So that's the one that they were talking about. Okay, well here's the last bunny. There we go. I cannot believe I let myself get caught. Well, so wow, you caught all this. Maybe you can really help Mama, and by Mama they mean a brand new character to the Mario universe, which, as I'm sure you guys all know, we'll go ahead and walk up right there and see just who it is. And then I forget what these guys have to say. Oh, they just say like, please do as Mama asks, blah 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 blah. But as you can see, once we get up here, yep guys, that is Rosalina. This is actually the game that introduces her into the Mario franchise. So, as you can see, here is Rosalina. I've been watching you from here. This place is called the Gateway to the Starry Sky. Ready? My name is Rosalina. I watch over and protect the cosmos. To save your special one, you'll need the power to travel through space. And there comes that familiar Luma that will fly into Mario's head and give him the power to spin and stuff, which is actually a really good power-up like in this game. That's one of the things that makes Mario Galaxy pretty good, is the spin jump and the spin attack really helps you a lot throughout this game. And as you can see, Luma can give you this power. I will entrust you with his care. And there we go. We now have the ability to spin now, so shake our Wii remote. So, disaster has struck us just as it has visited you. With Luma, I hope you can rescue the grand stars. May the stars shine down on you. And then just cosmically floating away into space. As will a lot of things in this game. Alright. So, yep, the Luma keeps telling you how you can shake your remote to spin things that look breakable, and you can also use it to stun enemies, which you guys obviously know that have played this game, and for these guys who have been living under a rock and have never played this game, you will about to see. As you can see here, we are shaking our Wii remote, and we have our launch star right here to take us to the next area. So we are actually now going to be rescuing our first grand star. So then, as you can see, if we go over to this Luma, he says, "Hi there, good to see you. I have some bad news though. See, I had a launch star all ready for you, but a meteor smashed it up. You can't leave without it, so find all of these star chips to fix it. Oh, and be sure not to fall in the black hole, because, yeah, you can see down there is the black hole, and, I mean, do I want to show you guys? Yeah, I'll show you guys. Why not? That's what happens when you fall into a black hole in this game. And by the way, that's actually not realistic. In real life, if you were to fall into a black hole, you wouldn't actually see yourself get quickly sucked. Well, if somebody was watching you fall into a black hole, you wouldn't see yourself, like, spin around and fall into it. You would actually, if you were watching somebody fall into a black hole, it would actually look like they enter slowly, and slowly, and then once they pass this, like, certain point, I forget what it's called, they would just simply vanish from your view, and that is because once you go past that point, that is the point where light cannot escape, and so the light of your body cannot travel to whoever is obviously watching you fall into the hole. But for you, falling into the black hole, everything would actually be fine for you until you actually enter the hole, and then that's when your molecules would start to compress and stretch, and then you will die. So, alright, here we are with our next little area, and I don't know what it is, but some of the Goombas in this game look like really weird. Like, as you can see, these Goombas look really weird, like compared to like the ones you normally see in the game. And as you can see, coins will refill your life. So each coin you get, you will refill your lives. And it looks like we have to save a Luma. So he says, "Get me out of here. One of those enemies should have the key." So you can shake your remote to spin them around and make them dizzy. Once they're stunned, just run into them. Alrighty, so it looks like we're gonna have to, okay, so these ones all have coins. Maybe this one? Yep, oh, nope, never mind, that one has another coin. Oh, it's probably this one. But yeah, see how this Goomba looks like normal, like all the other Goombas in the Mario series, but then some of them look weird? It's just, like, really weird, okay, so... And then there we go, we have rescued that Luma. And then once we go back up here, he says, "Thanks, would you mind rescuing my buddy in that base up there too? I'll transform into a sling star. Just jump into me after I transform!" And you will see this a lot in the game. Lumas transferring into different types of launch stars. Alright, so as you can see right here, there is another Luma in here. He says, "Spin enemies, then run into them when they're stunned to boot them." So, just like the other Luma, I think one of the other enemies will have a key, so let's find out. Oh, it's the big Goomba here that has them. Okay, let's get the star bits. And if I would definitely give you guys advice for this game, collect as many star bits as possible, because you will need them, especially with the hungry Lumas that will open up Galaxies. Like, if you want 100% this game, you are going to need to collect as many star bits as possible. Like, try your absolute best, because if you don't, then you will you would have to basically keep going back to Galaxies and redoing stars just to get star bits, so you can actually advance on to the next little areas. So now as Luma says, "Hurry down here!" So let's go down here into this pipe. And as you can see, we're inside this planet. So Dave says, "We've been waiting for you." That's a grand star. We have to save it. They're using the grand star power. They're using the grand star to power that awful machine. It looks like it's making something. We have to do something before the grand star's power is drained. Quick, find a way to stop that terrible machine. Alrighty, so the way we actually turn off the machine is we find all these little flip switches. So we gotta turn all of them blue. So, and obviously the first couple levels of this game are pretty easy because it's just trying to get you used to the game, but once we get to the end of the game, get to like the different purple coin levels and all that, yeah, this game's gonna get pretty hard. So, okay, so we got that one. Okay, there's a bunch over here, so let's get these ones. And then I actually feel like this might be it. I know there's actually not too many. Yes, I know. Turn off the flip switches on the floor to shut down this machine. I know. Nope, we have more. Oh, this one's not, oh, there you go, that was it. And poof. And there is our first star, and it's not only our first star, but it is also our first grand star. So just to show you guys how, like, awesome the music in this game is, just listen to the little soundtrack we have, once we collect it. So let me actually grab a coin real quick. So just listen to the awesome soundtrack. I guarantee you grew up this game, you are about to feel the chills when you listen to this. Ah, that soundtrack, oh my gosh, I get the chills every time I hear it. It is so nostalgic. And here is actually the main, like, I guess you could say hub world of the game. This is where, after you collect this grand star, this is like where you access all different levels, kind of like how Peach's castle is like the hub world in Super Mario 64, where that's how you access all the levels throughout the castle. This is known as the Comet Observatory, which you will see Rosalina talk about in just a little bit. And those grand stars, as you can see, go to that little center core, and that core basically represents the power of this thing. And as you can see, there's 5 grand stars, I think, or 6, I can't remember, but back there. And then you'll notice those little, like, observatory areas around, and that's where you can actually go to the different galaxies, which are the levels of the game. So you guys will see as we continue. So we got a grand star. Gateway Galaxy Grand Star Rescue. And got 22 star bits, and we've discovered, of course, the new galaxy in the Terrace, which is the first little observatory we can go to. And then, yep, we will have a little talk with Rosalina, which will basically explain everything that I kind of just explained to you. So, the beacon is lit again. It shines weakly, maybe only as bright as a Class 6 star, but at least the poor Lumas will survive now. Oh, thank you for saving the Grand Star. These star people are my family. They mean so much to me. Welcome to the Comet Observatory. It's my home, and also home to the Lumas. You see, as we travel the starry skies, We pass by this area once every 100 years, but we suddenly stopped in front of this planet. A strange force has latched onto our ship, pulling away star bits and our power source, power stars. Our ship has lost power, so it entered a deep hibernation state in which it could not move, which is why it was so dark when we originally flew there. Those who took your special one picked up the power stars, so obviously Bowser, and discovered the power to cross the universe. Please, I have a request. This observatory uses star power to project images of the galaxies that are scattered across space, and there is a chance we can use our few remaining stars to look for other power stars. These round rooms are called domes. Well, oh, I guess they're called domes, not observatories, but I mean, they're basically the same thing. And we observe galaxies from domes such as these. But the only one that is working right now, powered by the star power you restored, is this one, the terrace, which will be our first little area to go to different galaxies to collect power stars. So just like basically previous Mario games, we're basically collecting power stars, and of course this game has a little story to kind of explain the significance of collecting them. So please go to the terrace and try to recover the power stars from the galaxies you can see from there. If we do that, we'll be able to restore the Comet Observatory's ability to fly like a starship. Then perhaps we can pursue the thieves who ran off with the power stars. And let's go ahead. This game will ask us to save it a lot, so we'll go ahead and do that. The game has been saved. And now we can go ahead and travel a little bit around the Comet Observatory. Now obviously there's not too much around here because we just got here. But as you can see, if we go over here, this is how you can get like an overview of it. And you notice that some parts of it are still dark, and don't worry guys, that is once we get the rest of the Grand Stars. So as you can see, there are 6 Grand Stars, and we got 1 of them, and as we go throughout the game, we'll get more, and then eventually restore the whole power of the Comet Observatory, and then we'll be able to go ahead and rescue Peach. So, actually, let's see, do I have enough? Okay, we're at the 23-minute mark right now, so I think we can probably get maybe the first, maybe second power star. Let's see. So let's see how long it takes. So let's go ahead and go to the terrace, because as I said at the beginning of the video, I want to try and keep each episode around the 30-minute mark. So welcome. This dome acts as an eye of the observatory. From here we can gaze upon distant galaxies. Once this Luma transforms into a pole star, he will guide you to those faraway galaxies. Simply point your cursor at the pole star and press A. So, you will see that Luma will transform into a pole star, which what you can do is you can point your screen at it, press A, and hold, and then, as you can see, there we go. You can see, because this game has the whole space theme, the galaxies orbit around, which is a pretty cool touch, and as you can see, it says, these are the galaxies that can be observed from this dome. The number represents the distance from the observatory. The bigger the number, the greater the distance. The more power stars you find, the further you'll be able to travel. So obviously the first one we can go to is right here, which only requires that 1 power star that we got, the Grand Star. So, and this right here is the Good Egg Galaxy. And just to recap, most galaxies like this one, as you can see, have 3 power stars. They also might have a hidden star, which is a star that you have to try and find on your own, and then eventually they'll have things like green. Some galaxies might have green stars, which you'll see what those are later on, and then eventually the purple coin challenge stars, which those will be hard but fun. And then there's some smaller galaxies that only have like 1 power star, but you guys will see as we progress. So let's go ahead and go to the Good Egg Galaxy, and as you can see, Luma once again has to remind us, says, yes, it's undeniable, we're detecting power star energy patterns in the nearest galaxy, but I must warn you that the evil energy readings are off the charts. Please be careful. And obviously, that is just referring to the enemies. So let's go ahead and let's at least collect our first power star. Looks like we have about 5 minutes left, so we probably can collect our very first power star, and then we'll probably have to end the first episode. And as you can see, our first power star is called Dino Piranha, so let's go. I remember doing that from my last Let's Play series, the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe one, and I love doing that classic Let's Go. So, and as you can see, here's a nice little overview. And here we go. Yes! Alright, so this is our nice little, so basically, because this game's obviously space themed, each galaxy has different like little planets and stuff that you can travel across, and you basically have to travel across the different ones until you get to the power star. And much like Super Mario 64, this game does, well actually, yeah, kind of like Super Mario 64, this game does have a set path as to collecting the power stars. It's not quite like Super Mario Odyssey where that game's more open world, but yeah, as you can see, here is our first little area. So as you can see, Luma says, "My friends are ahead, hurry." So it will transform into a sling star, and then we will take this launch star off to the next little planet. So here are the rolling meteors. So here's another little Luma right here. Let's see what he has to say. "If you get hurt, grab a coin to patch yourself up." So looks like we're gonna have to collect the star chips again. And actually, one thing I will show you about these little borders right here is they might look scary and intimidating, but if you actually do a spin attack right where the red area is, as you can see, they explode actually into a bunch of star bits. So I'm surprised that a lot of people actually don't know about that, and I literally discovered that completely by accident, because the game does not necessarily tell you, oh crap, just got hit by one, but the game does not tell you that, but it has to be, you have to do your spin attack when the red part is, where the red part is, because the red part is kind of like the vulnerable part. Okay, so where's the other star chip? I have no idea. Oh, there it is, okay. And there is our next launch star, so let's go ahead and take it off to the next little planet. And oh wow, these are of course a lot of smaller ones, so that's a nice little, whatever those, I don't know what those blue enemies are called, but basically they climb on top of you, and then, if too many climb on top of you, they start hurting you. And as you can see, once again guys, you'll see a lot as we, you'll see a lot throughout this episode. My biggest advice for this game is collect as many star bits as possible. You will need them later on, and just you might as well do them as soon as you can. So, I forget what's over here. Is I know this is a little. Is there anything important down here? Oh, okay. So the little flip switch section, and then more flip switches over here. I mean, I do have a general idea of like how to get every power star again, but this is my first time playing this game in quite a bit of time. I would say probably like maybe a few years, so I may forget stuff, just so you guys know. So alrighty, okay, there's our next little launch star, so I guess this is the right way to go, so here we go. Let's go ahead and move on in. Alright, here we are back in the main area, so looks like we have to go up here, and actually I need a coin because star bits unfortunately don't heal you. You need coins in this game, but yeah. Alright, here's our next little launch star, so let's take that off to the next little area. Oh, don't forget, collect as many star bits as possible, and I missed one, darn it. And oh man, here is our very first boss fight, which we actually have to beat in order to get our first power star. So I feel very bad because this game literally wants you to. Oh, and here's a coin. Let's go ahead and refill our health again. But this game literally wants you to beat up a baby tiny piranha, and I don't know why. I feel so bad. But basically, what you have to do is use your spin attack on the tail, and basically hit him a bunch of times. And I feel really bad because we're basically beating up a baby dinosaur, which I know he's evil, but he wouldn't be evil if we wouldn't attack him in the first place, but oh well. And yeah, there he goes. He gets mad, of course, after you hit him a bunch of times. And I think when he gets, I think we have 2 more, I think we have to hit him 2 more times, or maybe 1 more time. And then as he gets angrier, he does start moving faster. Yep, we have to hit him 1 more time. And once again, collect as many star bits as possible. No gosh, I think he almost actually caught up to me there. Obviously, the boss fights at first are easy, but they do get harder as we go along the game. So as you can see, we beat this boss pretty easily, obviously, because it's the very first boss fight. But yeah, and there is our very first power star, and it's almost perfect timing because we have just reached the 30-minute mark. So let's go ahead and collect our very first power star. You got a star. Alrighty, and here we are back at the Comet Observatory. So, yeah, you got a star. Dino, Piranha, good egg, Galaxy. Alrighty, so we now have 2 stars: our grand star that we rescued before, and our very first regular power star. And let's go ahead, and the game does ask you to save it after you collect every single power star, so of course you just go ahead and do it. And I'm sorry if it gets annoying after a while. It annoys me that it keeps asking to save, but whatever. So then, as you can see, Luma has one last thing to say. Those icon are star bits. To Lumas, they are the tastiest, most detectable treats imaginable. Aim your remote at the screen and point your cursor at them to pick them up. Once you have some, shoot them by aiming with the little cursor and pressing B on your Wii remote. And it's just going to give us a quick little lesson. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Why don't we try it out? Aim it at me and feed me some star bits. So, let's collect these. And then if you point your little cursor at him and press B, as you can see, the Lumas love them. That's the ticket. Yum. Delicious. Oh, thank you. Yes. Alright. Mmm, tasty. Let's call those little morsels my fee for this lesson. You can also shoot them at enemies, or feed them to a hungry Luma, which those will be key later on. Either way, I am sure Starbits will be a big help on your adventure, which they indeed are. So, alrighty guys, I think this is going to go ahead and wrap up today's episode. We are a little over the 30-minute mark, but that is fine. We, I think, made some good progress. We got the first Grand Star, and we got our first Power Star, which is pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and go back to the main menu and do our little outro. So as always guys, thank you very much for watching this video. As always, if you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a like and subscribe so you do not miss the next video. The next video, or next episode I should say, should be coming out on Monday next week, so be sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when it's out. And of course, if you guys also want to follow me on Twitter at Jones_RMJ to stay up to date with what I am doing. Thank you very much for watching guys, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Bye!